This one's going from relationship advice. I had to protect my niece from a pit bull, and my husband ran off. I have been ignoring him. Is this something that I should be forgiving him for? I'm going to give you guys a trigger warning before we get into this one for dog attack and a little bit of animal abuse. I, 30 female, am going to start with this. I'm a bit traumatized, and I will be finding someone to talk to. And a friend made this account for me because I am not a frequenter. I don't know if a pit bull made it. I haven't asked. My husband, 31 male, and his niece and nephew and I were in our backyard. I'm going to assume that the gate was open, but I can't remember. The pit bull came out of nowhere and latched on to his niece, 5 female. Niece screamed. I turned, kicked it with all the force that I could manage. I was lucky enough to hit it in the jaw, somewhere that made the jaw dislodge. My husband, who has been a few feet away, shouted something along the lines of, "Whose dog is this?" I told him to get our bear spray from the house. I was in a panic. I am an animal lover, but this was so insane. The pit bull seemed almost rabid. I don't think it was in hindsight. It wasn't foaming at the mouth. It was just crazed. So my husband ran, but not towards the house. He literally ran for the fence gate and shut it behind him. He didn't run towards his niece or his nephew, who was also present in an outdoor bassinet that I managed to all but toss onto the picnic table to make sure it was out of the dog's reach, while holding his niece off my shoulder. I put her on the barbecue to keep her out of reach, but the dog was literally jumping and snapping up. I was worried that if I tried to carry her, because I'm short, that it would manage to grab her out of my hands. It chased me when I ran for the shovel, but then I swung at it, and I swung until it stopped. I don't think I will ever forget that sound or feeling.
Oh my God.
It was so high stress, I didn't even realize it had bitten me twice. I haven't spoken to my husband for a full week, even though we live in the same house. I didn't ask where he went during the incident. He only came back a few minutes later to pack us into the car and drive us to the hospital. He's getting angry that I am now giving him the silent treatment, but I feel like it's his fault that I had to possibly end an animal's life if he had gotten the bear spray, which I literally keep in my purse as if I'm ever attacked by an animal or otherwise. I don't think I would have needed to do what I did. It was literally just inside the door. He knows where I keep it. Instead, he literally took off to God knows where. Me and the 2 children that I'm not even related to could have died. It might not be relevant, but I don't even like kids. I am staunchly child-free, and he is the one that offered us up to babysit for the weekend. I don't know. Is this grounds for divorce? I'm not sure I can even look at him. Any attraction I had to him is pretty much gone. He tried to touch me yesterday just to move me so he could pass, and I smacked his hand away without even thinking about it, as if he's some stranger at the bar, because it was literally jarring. He's just been sulking around trying to talk to me and then getting frustrated, and then sulking more. I wasn't expecting him to be macho and fist fight the freaking dog, but at least follow the instruction. At least not leave me in a life or death situation with a toddler and an infant. Should I be able to chalk this up to a momentary panic? I don't even know if I want to hear him out. Shit hit the fan.
Holy shit. That was really sad. I don't like that one. Bad find.
Oh, bad find. Okay.
I don't know if it's divorce worthy. Like, it's how you feel. Like, you're the one who is literally getting the ick from him now. Like, you can't have him touching you.
Yeah. Doesn't find him attractive.
It's how you feel. For me, like, I don't think that this would be divorce worthy. Like,
you don't think in a life or death situation, me abandoning you wouldn't give you the ick?
Like, okay, it would definitely piss me off. And
don't you want to know that you have a life partner that will defend you?
I think it was probably a momentary lapse of judgment. Like, it was high stakes. He was panicking. Like,
Cool, but what happens in the next time there's a high stakes moment in your life? Do you
don't
want
know.
to? Do you think that you want someone who you know won't just try to defend you?
I don't know. I don't know. For me, like, okay, yes, this would be like a big argument, but for me, I just don't know if I would divorce over this.
It's interesting because I feel like this is kind of gender role specific. Like the men is supposed to be like the defender of the family in a sense. So like having your perspective versus my perspective is different because I would never expect you to stick up for me in a situation like this. Dogs attacking us and you ran away. That would not give me the ick whatsoever because I don't feel like you need to be the one protecting me. I feel like I need to be the one protecting you. Hey, if you jumped in front of me to tackle the dog to try and save me, sure, I'm going to get the warm and fuzzies that you love me so much that you'd be willing to do that. But I would never think negatively of you for trying to run and get to safety and not coming to protect me. But I would think in that situation that I am going to be the one to jump in front of you. I'm going to be the one to try to protect you and keep you safe. So it's more interesting from your perspective or her perspective of what obviously she expected him to do more and take on that gender bias rule or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what she expected out of her relationship, which is completely fair on her point. And I think it's fair that when he disappointed to her in that situation, that he is no longer attractive in her eyes.
No,
Is
totally
a big
fair.
part of that attractiveness, I
Yes.
feel like, is being the protector, the provider for the family. So I think it's fair for her to
Oh, I agree.
kind
I
of
think
have that perspective.
Yeah, 100%. But she's asking us, like, is this divorce worthy? I feel like from what she's saying, like, in her perspective, I think that's what she wants. Like, I don't know. Can she recover from this? Can she recover from not, like, it has only been a week-ish was what she said. So maybe she will get over it. Maybe it just needs some time to, I don't know, rekindle that attraction again. Or maybe this is just like permanent damage, which
I think it's permanent damage. I think it's divorce worthy, and I think it's permanent damage.
Yeah.
I don't think there could ever be any more of a situation like this that would be more like, yeah, there's more, but like this is one of those events, whether it's a robber with a gun or getting attacked by somebody, you're getting physically endangered by something in life. There is almost nothing more traumatic for this to happen again. And I think from her, if she no longer finds him attractive and can no longer trust him in future situations, this would be divorce worthy to me. If this was something that I am the woman and I'm expecting my man to protect me and defend me, and he doesn't in the life or death situation, how can I trust you in the next life or death situation?
often do those life and death situations happen? Like,
It's all fine and dandy until
it
they
happens,
do.
Yeah.
Driving your car down the road is all fine and dandy until you get in an accident. Everything is always fine until it isn't.
Yes.
And this is one of those clear moments where it is no longer fine. And yeah, maybe you go through life and this never happens to you again. Maybe you go through life and it happens to you in 5 more different situations. You would never know. But I feel like that attraction there is gone. And it's just replaced with an ick.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get her side. I get
Yeah.
her perspective. I'm just saying,
For you.
for me,
Yeah.
I don't think it would be as big of a deal. And I feel like this isn't like a right or wrong, black or white answer. Like anybody, it's just what you value in your relationship. Like if you value that protection and you expect that protection.
I feel like it's also very hard to probably say what I would do in that situation, but never been in that.
Yes.
Like I feel like it's very hard
Exactly.
to have that perspective because
it's easy to say, yes, I'll stand there and protect you and defend you in front of this dog and I will put myself in front of you. But like in reality, like who knows how you're going to react? Like
also, you've never been attacked by a dog.
No.
So you almost don't have the perspective of how scary that is.
Yeah.
I have been attacked and I've been bitten by a big dog that seems crazy and it is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. So, it's not diverse worthy to you right now because you've never been in that situation. Potentially, if you had, say you were me and you'd been in that situation when you were 18 and been attacked, you could feel differently about it right now.
Yeah.
Because you had that trauma. So
it's hard to give our opinions on this one.
Exactly. Me being attacked, that's where I feel like I have more understanding for her perspective of it. Not to mention she's trying to save two little children's life.
Yeah.
Freaking crazy. There's an update.
Oh, okay.
Update. For everyone worried about my mental health, I did get through an appointment with my work yesterday. Because I decided I really needed it, I labeled it high priority. However, it felt like it was just a preliminary meeting. She said she wanted to get me to feeling a bit more comfortable because I was visibly tensing up whenever I started talking about it. And she even noticed it through the video chat. Last night, I also told my husband I needed space. I apologized that I don't have any more update on our relationship than that. I wasn't as nice as I wanted to be. He argued and I didn't want to leave. It's my house. But I told him I just didn't want to look at him, that I couldn't look at him. He cried, and I hate that I feel apathetic towards it. I haven't slept well, so I'm just not sure if I'm overly tired or if I'm still shaken. I was also emotionally exhausted after the appointment, so that might have added to it. I got a few questions about his sister and her husband, so I thought I'd answer. They aren't speaking to him. I don't know when it happened. I was definitely out of it at the hospital and while I was getting the stitches and everything. But I do think after I was done blubbering and trying to explain how something so terrible happened to their little girl under our watch, they apparently asked him where he was. I still haven't talked to him about where he went, so I don't know. However, it clearly didn't satisfy them. His niece just got out of the hospital yesterday, so that really triggered everything and a lot happened. I had sent flowers, a bear, and this one toy thing that she'd been asking about. I didn't go to the hospital though. I was scared seeing me would make her nervous. But his sister and her husband sent me flowers too, and it made me bawl again. I'm just a frickin' mess, honestly. The father sent me a long message that I haven't been able to get through, but is the sweetest thing anyone's ever sent to me. He also sent me a $1,000 Visa card. I literally thought I was reading the amount wrong. They are good people, and I still feel terrible. I couldn't have done more for her. Everything's just replaying in my head. Anyway, I obviously haven't looked into filing yet, but I am not against the idea of it, and it really did help me feel better about wanting to divorce over this. I know fight or flight can't be helped, but now I think I realize that it's okay not to be with someone who would leave you behind. I think I can say I'm a fighter. I want a fighter with me. Maybe he'd be better off with a runner instead too. Then he at least wouldn't be leaving someone behind. I don't know. It feels like I'm done, but I'm just a mess right now, so I'm glad to have some space. Thank you for everyone making me feel like I wasn't being ridiculous, though. I think it will always feel like it should be multiple issues that tear a marriage apart, unless it's infidelity or something. And it's like I know he may not have meant to betray me, but he still did, whatever his reasoning. I'm not sure when I'll be speaking to him, but I will try to update then.
Is the niece okay?
It seems like it. Like
Okay.
I think she just got bit on her arm.
Okay.
She got stitches. But like, okay, a Pitbull, German Shepherd, Rottweiler, any of those are like big sized dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not like a little Frenchie bit you or whatever. Those are big sized dogs that would literally tear a 6-year-old apart.
Yeah.
I've been bit by a Rottweiler when I was 5. I have a scar dimple on my my chin. There's a scar, I think, underneath my eyebrows that I can't see anymore. And then when I was 18, 17, I've been bit by German Shepherd. I got marks on my arms, my legs, on top of my head. Like I have those bite marks. So like they could tear you apart if they bit your throat, cut your jugular open. Like if she wasn't there, she says maybe he needs somebody who's also a runner too. Imagine both of them ran away from those two children. If you have a crazed dog like that, both of those kids would be dead.
Yep.
No doubt in my mind. A pit bull like that would absolutely tear through little children that can't defend themselves or run away or anything. Not to mention an infant in a bassinet. Would just bite and shake their head and rip through everything. So, yeah, I mean, if I was like sister-in-law and brother-in-law, like, I You're not just a babysitter. You are the guardian. You're there to protect them against anything. Anything. An animal, a hurricane, a flood. Like, you are there to protect them against anything that could arise. A freaking meteor out of the sky, bro. You see it coming for you. You grab the kid and run. You don't just let it land on the kid.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, you're there to... You need to protect them.
100%.
So, I'm on the divorce side. This hurts me. I'm very much of the defender. Need to defend.
I was just reading the top comment on this one. I don't know if you want to read it, but it made me think differently.
Him closing the gate behind you would have played out in my mind every time I looked at him. You locked the dog in there with you.
I forgot about that. Like,
where did you go? That's the way. Like, where did you go? You ran out the gate and you closed the gate behind you. Like.
He literally trapped them in there.
Yeah. Even like whether you're
to save himself. Yeah.
Even whether you are supposed to be the quote unquote man of the household and protector or the wife or anything like that, like you could be looked at, no matter who does it, your partner in life running away, whatever your sex is, however the relationship is, however it's balanced, like that could be an ick to.
Yeah.
Could be an ick to anybody. Yeah. The fact that I'm over here struggling for my life and you just ran away to save your own hide.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I guess it doesn't really matter what gender.
No, it doesn't matter what gender.
Yeah. I think, I forgot about the part of him closing the door because I feel like that makes a huge difference. That's like, you weren't just running away in panic. You literally, like...
You made it so the dog couldn't follow you.
You made a conscious decision to close that door and trap them in there to save yourself.
Yep.
That's disgusting.
Yep.
That's so much worse than just running away on instinct.
Exactly. Running away is one thing. And then that. Being so thinking about yourself that you didn't think about what happens when I do that.
Yeah.
And that goes to, like... Those moments are what show you the core of a person, people. It goes down to their instinct, their core of who they are at their center of what they're going to be for the rest of their life, who you're going to be with for the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. It reminds me back to that story we had where the kid was on the date with his girlfriend and her dad tried to like scare him with a mask and stuff and he punched him in the face. He punched back. He went to protect his girlfriend. He could have ran. Mm-hmm. And that is the fight or flight moments. Like, what do you do in those situations? Do you fight or do you run? Mm-hmm. And that's what happened. That's who you are at your core. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The fact that there was his niece and nephew there and, like, she had enough to, like, the dog was biting his niece or, the dog was actively biting the niece when he ran away. Mm-hmm. His niece would have been screaming as he ran away.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what your gender is. Yeah. Honestly, at that point, it doesn't even matter. You're an adult and your niece is being attacked by the dog. I don't care who you are. Any adult that runs away from that situation, I can't respect. Yep.
I agree now.
Shit hits the fan. Shit has been hitting the fan.
The fan had been hit.
The fan has been splattered.